I spend my nights in archives, so you don't have to. My name? That doesn't matter right now. But what I uncover, those are history's darkest truths. Today, I'm taking you into a world where every document opens a door to mystery. People ask me, why do you do this? Truth is, it's an addiction. While everyone sleeps, I'm awake, hunting ghosts in government files. 3 years ago, I stumbled upon a case that changed everything. A forgotten asylum. 1247 patients. 0 records of what happened to them. They just vanished from history. Erased. So how do I find what others can't? First rule, official records lie, or worse, they hide the truth in plain sight. See these black lines? Redactions. They tell me where to dig deeper. Second rule, cross-reference everything. A missing persons report from 1923 might connect to a land deed from 1919. Patterns emerge, and that's when the story begins to breathe. Let me show you something I found last month. New Hope Asylum, Philadelphia. Opened in 1897 with great fanfare. Promised modern treatment for the mentally ill. State-of-the-art facility. By 1902, it housed 1,247 patients, doctors, nurses, staff, all documented. Then, in 1903, silence. No closure notice. No patient transfers, no death certificates. Just this tiny article buried on page 12. Former asylum property sold to private buyer. So, I went there. What remains of it? The building still stands. Barely. Locals won't go near it. They say they hear things. Voices. Screaming at night. But I'm not looking for ghosts. I'm looking for evidence. And in the basement, I found something. Financial records. Hidden for over 120 years. Payments. Large sums. To a Dr. Blackwood. A name that appears nowhere in official records. The financial ledgers were only the cover. Tucked into the worn leather binding, I found Blackwood's true journal. It was written in coded German, and it took me 3 weeks of non-stop work to crack it. The translation revealed the terrifying truth. Blackwood wasn't trying to heal anyone. He was trying to break the human mind. His theory, twisted and pseudoscientific, was that fear isn't just an emotion. It's a measurable physical energy, a quantifiable byproduct of terror. The asylum patients weren't just victims of lobotomies. They were being systematically reduced, subjected to sensory deprivation, forced exposure to their deepest phobias, and chemical cocktails designed to erase identity. The final, chilling entries detail a successful extraction. He believed he had isolated and harvested pure fear energy. The vanished patients weren't dead in the traditional sense. They had been fully consumed by the process. Remember that tiny article from 1904? The private buyer who purchased the abandoned asylum property? I traced the deed. It wasn't an individual. It was a shell corporation that existed for only 3 months, funded by a shadowy trust tied directly to Blackwood's Viennese associates. Following the paper trail led me hundreds of miles away to a remote corner of rural Maine. A property mentioned once in the journal, an old lighthouse standing abandoned since 1905. I flew out last week. Inside the basement, the air was still and strangely sterile. Not dust, but decay. After hours of searching, I found it. A sealed, lead-lined cabinet hidden behind a false wall. Inside, I found 2 things. A 16mm film reel, wrapped tight and perfectly preserved, and a leather-bound diary. His final testament. The diary reveals the ultimate failure. The experiment was a success, but he failed to contain the energy. It consumed the last patients, creating the ghostly echo the locals hear today. Blackwood fled, leaving the source of the vanishing behind. But the most disturbing part? The diary mentions his financial backers. Not just a trust, but a secret society obsessed with psychological warfare. The money trail didn't end in 1904. It continued for decades. I have a very bad feeling I'm being watched. The power Blackwood unleashed is still out there, and someone is still trying to harness it. I have the film reel. Now I need to know who wants it, and why they've kept this horrific secret alive for over a century. I took the 16mm film from the lighthouse vault, and for 3 days, I didn't sleep. The reel confirms Blackwood's success. It doesn't show the torture. It shows the terrifying aftermath. The patients are still mute, their eyes wide and completely empty. There is no flicker of life, no soul behind them. The film is proof that Blackwood succeeded in extracting something, their very capacity for hope and reason. He called it psychic residue, a physical manifestation of fear. This is where the analysis becomes truly disturbing. The shell corporation that bought the asylum property was a ghost, but the money trail wasn't. Following the flow of funds from 1904 through decades of obscure trusts and foundations leads me to one name, the Oculus Society. They are not a historical footnote. They are a modern global entity specializing in mass psychological influence and strategic terror. They funded Blackwood for one reason: to develop a weapon of control. His method was the blueprint for controlling populations through engineered fear. The society kept the asylum property dormant, never selling it, never allowing it to be investigated, because they knew the final piece of Blackwood's work was still there. They were protecting their blueprint. Now let's look at the diary one last time. Blackwood wrote that the extracted fear energy needed a medium to prevent rapid dissipation. He didn't just leave a research paper and a film reel. He left the energy itself. He also wrote that his financial backers, the society, were closing in on him, realizing he couldn't control the stored energy without their help. He fled, but he couldn't take the fear with him. I just received a coded warning from an old contact. The Oculus Society knows the lighthouse vault has been compromised. They know someone has the film and the diary. They know I have the key to understanding Blackwood's work. The threat is no longer 120 years in the past. It's now. They are active, powerful, and desperate to reclaim that knowledge. They are coming for the evidence. But I have a feeling that is not all they are coming for. Blackwood's final sketch, hidden on the inside of the lighthouse blueprint, shows a hidden compartment deep beneath the lighthouse's foundation. He called it the vessel. I have to assume that is where he stored the extracted fear. And if I am right, the biggest secret of the asylum is still waiting for me, and the Oculus Society will be right behind me. Blackwood's final schematic for the vessel was hidden in the lighthouse's foundation. It wasn't a container for the fear energy, but a machine designed to broadcast it. He hadn't stored the fear, he had created a perpetual engine of low-frequency dread. A psychic signal, working just beneath the level of conscious thought, making people nervous, fearful, and compliant. The perfect tool for mass control. The Oculus Society's endgame. I descended into the core. The air was heavy, charged with a palpable tension. The vessel pulsed. A silent alarm clock broadcasting anxiety into the world for over a century. As I realized what it was, the shadows moved. They found me. The Society's cleanup crew, coming for the machine and the evidence. I was cornered. I had no weapon. But I had one thing Blackwood never counted on. The power of a deliberate, instantaneous, disruptive flash of light. My old press camera. The flash, designed to pierce shadow, delivered a sudden, jarring burst of high-intensity light directly onto the vessel's core mechanism. The effect was immediate. The machine screamed, a sound of raw psychic energy tearing apart, and then silence. A profound, echoing silence. The broadcast ended. Blackwood's fear engine was destroyed. The Society's agents scattered, their operation compromised. I retrieved the journals and the film. The truth of the new Hope Asylum is now safe. But the greater truth is this. The Oculus Society failed in 1904, but they didn't stop trying. Blackwood's creation was a physical manifestation of a psychological reality. Fear, engineered or natural, remains the most powerful tool for manipulation. The desire to control humanity through subtle, constant dread is older than the asylum itself. The Blackwood case is closed. The patients may be gone, but their tragedy has revealed the true enemy. Those who seek to profit from your compliance. The physical broadcast is over, but the psychological one continues in the news, in the politics, and in the noise of the modern world. So, I leave you with this final thought. The vessel is gone, but the intent remains. Guard your thoughts. Question every fear that seems to rise without reason. The greatest weapon against the shadows is the light you hold in your own mind. If you won't look, who will? Guard your thoughts. Question every fear.